All right, guys, so let us wrap this up and be done with this. So, for the past few classes, we've been talking about three different things. The first is atoms, second, ions, oops, my bad. Ions, and then isotopes. And we're first going to start off with atoms, all right? So, everything that you see here in the periodic table, these are all different examples of atoms. They're all atoms. Um, And then, we're gonna go over to ions and then isotopes. But for the main part for now, these are all atoms. And there are a few things that atoms have in common. And that is what we're gonna be talking about. At this point, you should all be familiar with this, okay? Because we've been working on stuff like this for a good minute now. Let us zoom closer into one of these atoms. Let us look at calcium, for example, over here. So you guys can see all of these numbers that are inside of the box. These are the different boxes, all right? The numbers that are inside of the box, but the ones that are all the way up here. So we have 4 here, 21 here, 22, 23, 24, 25. You can see that they're all in order, right? All of these numbers here are what we refer to as the atomic number. So if I ask you, what is the atomic number for beryllium? You should tell me 4, all right? If I ask you what is the atomic number for calcium, you should say 20. Atomic number for potassium is 19. Atomic number for chromium, 24, all right? So those are all atomic numbers. And an interesting thing about atomic numbers is they are the same as the number of protons. This is a short form in which we write protons, and this here is the short form in which we write electrons. So if I ask you how many protons does beryllium have, you should tell me 4. All right. If I ask you what is the atomic number for beryllium, you should also say 4. And so we've talked about protons and then the atomic numbers. All right. So now let's talk about the electrons. All right. The electrons. Well, it's also the same number. Okay, so if I ask you how many protons does magnesium have, you should say 12. If I ask you how many electrons does magnesium have, you should say 12. If I ask you what is the atomic number of magnesium, you should say 12. All right. Um, Another thing that we also have is the mass number. So if you look into the box also, there are two different numbers that you see. The first is what we call the atomic number. The second is what we call the mass number. Okay, I think about it this way. Your student number does not have any decimals inside of it. Your student number is just something in the line of 2, 0, 0, 2, 2, 4, 9, 6, 8, 10, 21, blah, 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 blah. All right, you don't see any decimals in this number. No decimal here. Just the same way, your student number don't have any decimal. Atomic numbers don't have any decimal. Now, when we come to the mass number, mass is not that, well, mass is in relation to weight, how much something weighs. So if you step on a scale, the scale is going to say 175.6. Okay, you can see the decimal here. So whenever you see decimals on the periodic table, think atomic mass, all right? Atomic mass. So, in regards to atomic mass, there are two different things that you need to know about it. Actually, so I've been calling this atomic mass, but more precisely, we should call this average atomic mass, all right? That is what this is called, average atomic mass. And average atomic mass, of course, these are all the average atomic masses. If I ask you what is the average atomic mass of manganese, you should tell me 54.938. All right, 54.938. But a lot of times when we're calculating, we usually round these numbers. All right, we usually round the average atomic mass. And when we round the average atomic mass, we will end up with what we call the mass number. To sum this all up, we are going to use this right here. And feel free to work along with me or pause the video and fill this out yourself, because you guys should already know this by this point. So for our element, we have element F, all right? I know F is fluorine. Fluorine is all the way over her. And the atomic number for fluorine is 9. So that's what comes over here for atomic number, 9. And the mass number for fluorine, remember mass number is when you round that number up, all right? When you round the average atomic mass. So when you round that up, you will get 19. So mass number is 19. Now average, I should always include average, but yeah, average. Average atomic mass is the actual number that's there, okay? So 18.998. Let's put that down. 18.998. And the number of protons, remember, number of protons is the exact same number, right, as the atomic number. So number of protons is 9. And the number of electrons is also 9, okay, because those numbers are the same. Those are both the same number. Now, to get the number of neutrons, all we're doing is using the mass number minus atomic number. That's it. So here's our formula to calculate neutrons. Mass number minus atomic number. This is very easy to remember, by the way, because all you're doing is, all the numbers is what you're working with. Whatever ends with the word number, right? That's what you're working with. Another way to remember this is you look inside of the box, you take the big number inside of the box minus the small number inside of the box, all right? Big number minus small number. Big number minus small number. The big number inside of this box is 40. Remember to always round it, okay? Remember to always round the big number. So 40 minus 18. So since we're working with fluorine, what we need to do is take 19 minus 9. And what will 19 minus 9 give you? So to get the number of neutrons, 19 minus 9 is equal to 10 neutrons. Now, is this an atom, ion, or isotope? Well, all of these are going to be atoms, because right now we're just working with atoms. So this is an atom. Now to solve this second question over here, okay, all we're doing is looking at the information that is given to us. And the information that is given to us is the atomic number. Remember, atomic numbers are just like your student numbers. So let's look for what element has atomic number 13. Boom, right there. Aluminum has atomic number 13. So we know that we are working with Al, aluminum. You guys should have your periodic table with you. I'm going to try to stop zooming in and out. All right, so now what is the mass number of aluminum? Remember, mass number is when you round the number at the bottom, okay? And when you round it, you'll end up with 27. And the average atomic mass, that is the actual number that's there, okay? So it's 26.982. The number of protons is the same as the atomic number, okay, so it's 13, which is also the same as the number of electrons, which is 13. Now, to get the neutrons, we are doing the mass number minus the average, minus the atomic number. So this number minus this number. So we have 27 minus 13. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but you figure it out and put the answer there, okay? All right, so I usually wouldn't ask you guys to tell me what the element is based on the mass number, but just because I have this here, let's try to figure out what this is. To find out what element this is, well, you just need to look through your periodic table to find out what element has the mass number of 40. And I already know what it is. It's calcium. But I necessarily wouldn't ask you guys to tell me what the element is based on the mass number. All right, so calcium. is what we're working with, Ca. And knowing that we're working with calcium, pause this video and fill out the entire table yourself. We know that calcium has atomic number of 20. And because it has atomic number of 20, that also makes it have 20 protons and 20 electrons. The average atomic mass, that is exactly the mass that is given to us on the periodic table. And what is given to us is 40.078. To get the number of neutrons, we're taking the mass number minus atomic number. So mass number minus atomic number will give you 40 minus 20, which is 20. And these are really all atoms. Here's another one, quite a tough one. Okay, you need to look through the periodic table to find out what has the exact mass of 35.453. I know what it is. It's chlorine. All right, chlorine. So we're working with Cl over here. And I want you guys to fill out this by yourself, okay? Last question down here asks for what has 7 protons. And this should be very simple. You know that whatever has 7 protons also has 7 electrons. And it also has an atomic number of 7. So what element is that? Well, it is nitrogen, all right? Nitrogen has atomic number of 7. So we're working with N, nitrogen. So the mass number of nitrogen is 14. And the average atomic mass, oh, I wrote 40. The average atomic mass is 14.007. All right. Well, that's it. Have fun.